covered health insurance and new guidelines by IRDA, the regulator, to make the medical insurance process more transparent for you.
And we will tell you what really works for you. Is it a simple individual plan or the more recent family floater? So stay tuned.
It's really easy to buy insurance, isn't it? Agents from all across the town will call you and make great sales pitches. Whether it's a car insurance or medical or life, you can even buy them online now. And you do buy them. And you pay premiums regularly, hoping you're covered well for tough times. But come an emergency, medical or a road accident, and you realize it's not that easy to get a claim. Or sometimes even better, you may get the claim, but when you go back to the insurance company for policy renewal, they may just refuse to renew your policy on very thin and flimsy grounds. This was one of the biggest areas of consumer complaints, especially with mediclaims. Now, there's good news. IRDA, the regulatory body for all insurance in India, has come out with new guidelines for all health insurance companies to protect you as a consumer. All right, now let's quickly look at what these new guidelines are. First up, health insurance companies cannot refuse to renew policy except in cases of fraud, which means a wrongful claim has been made to dupe the insurance company. Number two, just because you have been hospitalized for an illness and when you go back for renewal, the insurance company cannot force you to move to another plan. They will have to renew the one you already have. A lot of insurers are very unclear in their documents about the renewal dates and the options they will offer you. Now, these disclosures will have to be made upfront. Also, right now, 1 to 2 day delay in paying your premium and kaboom, there goes your medical insurance policy. They simply refuse to renew it. Now, what will happen? They will have to give a 15-day grace period to renew the policy. These new standards will come into effect from June 1st. Monica, I think I'm a little stung here because I lost my medical insurance because I was late by 2 days in calling the agent. And the agent never called back. And later on, they just refused to renew it. 2 days. So I know it was a mistake on my part to have forgotten it, but I thought it was too flimsy a ground to have refused.
The two issues here are, one, of course, it's too flimsy a ground to refuse. Second is, what is it that the agent is getting his commission for? He will get a percentage of the premium because he sold the policy. Premium. So the other things that policyholders, all of us face, is the fact that the agent disappears. One policy he sells you and he's over. So in terms of service, we don't understand what the agent is there for. So I think both these things have to be addressed. And it is good that IRDA has taken a proactive step here. But I think the more important thing also for all of us is to tag your policy renewal dates to maybe an important event like a birthday or some festival, so that you mentally have a thing, okay, before so-and-so's birthday my policy is due. Right. So we'll have to take those sort of calls till they make it mandatory for agents to service us properly.
Has great systems.
Till the regulator will get the agent to come and earn the money that you are paying.
There's a long time to go for that. Well, no. That every insurance company will have different parameters of what pre-existing means in their.
Exactly. So the role of the regulator is really to define what, say, a kilogram means. It's like when we take an analogy out of another area, it is that in this space we don't know what the benchmarks are. So the regulator has taken a proactive step. The next thing actually would be to fix the definition of pre-existing diseases. Right. And if we look at, we know what the basic policy does get us, but there are things which a lot of us don't know about Mediclaim policy. Did you know that there's a 30-day waiting period before you can claim, you can make a claim on a new policy that you have bought? It's not true of the policies that you renew, but a new Mediclaim policy. There's a 5 lakh cover on policy, the sum assured that you have, though there are new companies who can take it up to, say, about 10 lakh.
Well, we always flesh out the best and the cheapest option for you in any kind of insurance, but in medical insurance, that does not always work. Your medical history is perhaps more critical, but the one question we need to understand, do individual medical covers for each member of the family work out better than a family floater of a large cover? Harsh Roongta, CEO of ApnaPaisa.com, joins us to help us understand precisely that. Harsh, good to have you on the show. First question, family floater seems much better as an idea. You get a larger cover for a smaller premium and you can use it for any member of the family. Is that correct?
Yes, I think for younger families, the advantages on top appear to be quite attractive. Except at ApnaPaisa we are not great fans of family floaters, primarily because the history of continuous coverage is not possible to be carried forward. And let me explain what that means. First, I think, is the fact that the coverage will continue till the senior most member reaches the maximum age of renewability. Once he reaches that, the other people also lose their cover, and then they would have to take fresh policies at that point of time, and all the continuous coverage that they might have had would be lost. As a result of that, pre-existing disease coverage, etc., would be a problem. Similarly is the case with children. Typically floaters allow for coverage of dependent children up to the age of 25 years. What happens when they turn 26? They have to now take fresh policies, and they may have acquired pre-existing disease, they may have acquired some disease during that period which will not be covered when they go for a fresh policy. Or, I mean, horror of horrors, if the senior most member dies, the whole policy falls apart. The other people will have to take a fresh policy. So this one single point of your inability to carry your continuous coverage history by itself, I think, is a big impediment to the attractiveness of a family floater.
Right. So what would you recommend, Harsh? Is there a way that you can, take individual mediclaims and then combine it with a larger cover? What really works out the best?
Well, our recommendation to clients at ApnaPaisa is clear. I think your base cover should be individual for yourself and for your family members. Perhaps you can keep that cover at a more reasonable level of say 2 lakhs or 3 lakhs, and say go for what the new kind of policies that have come today called a super top up policy, that in fact today is offered only by United India Insurance, where they have a high deductible policy. And just let me quickly explain what that means. It means that during the year, for all expenses on illness and injury, if the amount does not exceed 3 lakhs, then it is not at all covered by the super top up policy, but it covers only the expenses over and above 3 lakhs. So when you combine these two, say a 2 lakh or a 3 lakh basic policy and then a high deductible super top up policy, you will get a good cover at a very reasonable cost.
Harsh, coming to the IRDA guidelines, we've just read them on 31st March. Do you think that the claim process will get easier because of these guidelines which are effective from June 1? And also, does it mean that all of us will have to pay more in terms of premium? Will it get more expensive for us?
So first of all, this whole process will become more transparent. How it will pan out in the claim portion is something we will have to wait and watch, but at least there will be far more confidence in the policy that we as consumers get from the insurance companies. We will know that the insurance company cannot refuse a renewal to me, what the premiums will be, under what circumstances those premiums can be hiked, at what age those premiums can become what. I think huge amount of transparency has been brought in by that circular. But yes, what that will definitely mean is that insurance companies will clearly tighten entry level. So when you first time go for a policy, medicals may become compulsory. Today typically below 45 years medical is not compulsory. I think it will become compulsory, and I think that's a good thing. And I think given the fact that insurance companies, once they admit you, will not be able to deny renewal to you, means that all of us will have to pay higher premiums. But I think that genuine consumers clearly won't mind paying this higher premium for the certainty of the coverage and the certainty of the cost. I think it's an excellent move.
All right, Harsh, thank you so much for coming on the show and giving us that clarity. Extremely important point Harsh has made.